right, sir. So first thing that we're going to go ahead and do is some strength testing. I'm going to have you do some different contractions, and I'm going to do some resistance, and just let me know if there's any issues throughout, okay? So we're going to go ahead and start here. So I would like you to please raise up your hip as high as you can. Good. Go ahead and stop midway. You can have your hands behind your back, and I'm going to go ahead and push down. Good. Same thing with this side. All the way up. Midway, stop. Good. Slowly push. Very good. Next thing that we're going to go ahead and do is I'm going to ask you to raise up your leg from the table, and don't let me pull you up. Good. Switch. So let me pull you up. Good. Now from here, I'm going to push your legs together, and don't let me push you together. Very good. Bring your legs together. Don't let me pull you apart. Very good. Now from here, I would like you to please bring your ankle towards the mid-center. Good. Hold there. Don't let me pull you out. Same thing on this side. Good. Now bring your ankle to the outside. Go ahead and relax this side. Very good. Bring this ankle to the outside. Don't let me push you in. Very good. And now from here, I would like you to please extend your knee all the way out to a lengthened position. Straighten it out all the way. Now go ahead and flex it just a little bit. Good. And don't let me push you down. Good. Switch sides. All the way out in extension. Just a little bit of flexion in your knee. And don't let me push you down. Very good. Now from here, go ahead and relax your legs in that flex position. And don't let me pull you out. Good. Don't let me pull you out. Very good. Now we're going to start your feet. So I'd like you to please bring your foot all the way up. Good. And don't let me push you down. Same thing with this side. Don't let me push you down. Go ahead and go put your toes down the gas pedal and don't let me push you up. Good. Don't let me push you up. Now with your toes, go ahead and bring them towards the center, kind of like this position. Very good. And don't let me push you out. Same thing with this side. Don't let me push you out. Bring your toes now to the opposite side. Point them out. Don't let me pull you in. Don't let me pull you in. Very good. Now for your toes, so go ahead and just kind of bring your toes all the way up. Good. Now I'm going to push them down individually. Don't let me move you. Good. Switch. Now we'll do some claws. So kind of tuck your toes in together and don't let me bring you out. Good. Good. And now go ahead and bring your toes out, like you just want to kind of bring them all out and about. Good. Very good. The passive hip internal rotation. So my fulcrum is going to be at the center of the patella. My stationary arm is going to be perpendicular with the ground. My movement arm is going to be in line with the tibia shaft. So because this is passive, I'm going to go ahead and move his lower leg out until I get to that end range. From here, I'll go ahead and get my points correct. Here's my movement arm. Good. And from here, I had 25 degrees of hip internal rotation. Thank you. Okay, so the next range of motion measurement that we're going to go ahead and do is active hip flexion. So at my points, my fulcrum will be at your greater trochanter. My stationary arm is going to be in line with your pelvis and your trunk. My movement arm is going to be pointing towards your lateral epicondyle. So at zero positioning, starting, I'm going to go ahead and ask you to please actively flex your hip. As much as you can, as much as you can. I'm going to go ahead and realign my points. Is as much as you can go. Yeah. Very good. And at this time, I got 106. All right, so ankle plantar flexion, we're going to do this passively. So for my points, I'm going to put the fulcrum at the lateral malleolus. My stationary arm is going to be in line with your fibula, pointing towards the fibular head. And my movement arm is going to be in line parallel to the base of your fifth metatarsal. So I'm going to go ahead and get you suited and get you the starting position of 90 degrees. So bring your foot up. Bring your foot up. Okay, that looks good. So now that we're at starting position at 90 degrees, so I'm going to go ahead and have you just bring your foot down to plantar flexion, and then at the end range, I'm going to go ahead and passively get you at that end point until I feel the end range. Very good. The end range measurement was approximately 54 degrees. All right, Christopher. So the next range of motion measurement that we're going to go ahead and do is active dorsiflexion. So my points are going to be at my fulcrum is going to be at the center of your malleolus. My movement arm is going to be parallel to the fifth metatarsal. And my proximal arm is going to be aligned with the fibula, pointing towards the fibular head. So at my starting position, I just need to make sure that we're at the 90 degrees. So go ahead and can you bring your foot up? Good. So at this point, we're going to go ahead and ask you to actively dorsiflex your foot as much as you can. Good.
Hey, friends.
Hey, Kobe. So as much as you can go?
Yep.
Great. So, very good. And with my total, I got a total of 12 degrees of dorsiflexion. All right, Chris, so we're going to go ahead and do some manual muscle testing with your right hip. I'm going to have you do hip flexion. So hands behind your back for support. Go ahead and raise up your hip as high as you can, down to mid-range. Good. I'm going to push for 5 seconds. Very good. And with this, he was able to resist, so he has a 5 out of 5. All right, Chris, so the next thing that we're going to do manual muscle testing for is your knee extension. So with this, I'm going to go ahead and ask you to please extend your knee as much as you can against gravity. Good. Can you put a little bit of flexion in your knee? Good. And I'm going to stabilize. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can put some resistance. So since the patient was unable to accept any Resistance, this would be a 3 out of 5. All right, Chris, so the next manual muscle testing that we're going to do is ankle dorsiflexion. So I'm going to ask you to please raise up your foot as high as you can in this position. Is that as high as you can go?
Yeah.
So with that, I know since he only had partial range against gravity, he is going to be immediately categorized as 2 out of 5. Alright, so the next thing that we're going to be doing is muscle length testing. So this is going to be called the Eli's test, and this is going to be for your rectus femoris. So my patient is prone, and I'm going to give him some stability. Passively flex his knee to at least 90 degrees. If I don't see any hip hike off the table, I know that this is going to be a negative sign. So the next muscle length test that we're going to be doing is going to be called the straight leg raise. And this is going to be for your hamstrings to detect any shortening. So with this, the patient's going to be supine. I'm going to passively extend and flex his hip all the way up slowly. And if I see that he gets past that 68 to 80 degrees with his knee straight, I know that this is a sign that he has no shortening of his hamstrings, which he's good because he's at least at 90 degrees.
I approve Alexa's video.